Welcome in, Humam. How you doing today?
Not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
Hey, not too bad. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, I believe you're talking to Jason in the DMs. Hopefully, he didn't bore you too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. He should have sent you over some videos and resources to go through before this call. Did you go through those?
Yo.
Good. Did you find any of those helpful for you?
Uh, yeah. It made sense. It made sense. Just wanna learn more.
Good. When you said it made sense, which parts made sense to you specifically?
I mean, the process that you guys use to lose weight, it makes sense. So, like, okay, I mean, what's involved and pricing and all that stuff. Yeah, it's keen to find out more.
So I couldn't hear what you said. There was some background noise. You said
Yeah. Just curious to know pricing and how it all works. Just wanna learn a
hmm,
bit more.
absolutely, we'll get into that. Well, how these calls usually go, Umam, is I find out where you are right now in terms of your fitness. Where do you want to go? And then based off of that, I see if you're a good fit for us. We can help you. If we are a good fit, I'll run you through exactly how we're going to get you to where you want to go. And at the end of that, we'll go through the pricing, how we will make that work for you. If we're not a good fit, that's fine. At least leave it with some value. And if we are, then excellent. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Fantastic, brother. Well, in terms of your weight loss, what are you looking to achieve specifically here with us at V-Shred?
I would like to lose 15 kilo. Yeah.
Okay, 15 kilos. How much are you weighing right now?
I weigh 90 kilo right now.
90. And how tall are you?
I am 5'9".
5'9". Shit, so 90
Mm.
kilos at 5'9". Okay, so that would be, you want to get down to 75 kg.
Yup.
Okay. Why do you want to lose 15 kilos? Well, so is there anything special about that to you?
I mean, that was the weight I was at when I was fit. So that's
Mm,
just where I want to be back
okay.
at.
When you say you weight you were at when you were fit, how long ago was that?
It was 5 years ago.
5 years ago. So how old were you then?
I was 25 then.
25. And you're 30 now.
Correct.
30 now. Okay. Okay. So how long have you actually wanted to get to that 75 kg?
For the last couple of years.
Last 2 years.
Mm.
Okay. Have you been thinking about that for the last 2 years as well, or has that been a different time frame?
Just 2 years. Yeah, I would say 2 years. That's when I really want to lose weight.
Yeah. Okay. Were you that 90 kg 2 years ago?
Um. Yup.
Okay. How did that happen? Going from that 75 kg to the 90 kg?
I just got stuck in with the wrong crowd, partying, eating junk food, just overall having a shit routine. Just ended up with me gaining a lot of weight, going in a bit of a downward spiral.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just think I surrounded myself with the wrong type of people.
Okay. When you say you surround yourself by the wrong type of people, how did you find those people? Were they from school, uni? What was that looking like
College,
for you?
uni.
College, uni.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. And then from 25 to about 27, you started putting on that weight, going down this downward spiral of bad habits, bad routine.
correct.
Okay. Are you still surrounded by those people now?
Oh no, I've kind of cut them out slowly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, looking to make a change now.
Hmm. Why did you cut them off?
Obviously, logically not the best thing to do. No, I was at uni. I was a bit of a wild person, but now I know. 2 years later, sobered up. Haven't
Hmm.
had alcohol since then. So yeah, that's why I kind of cut out. Came to my senses, you can say.
Right. Okay, that's good to hear. That's really good to hear. Cutting people off can be quite scary as well. So that's it's in the right direction. So you've been thinking about losing that weight for the last 2 years. What have you been doing
Correct.
specifically to lose that weight?
Specifically, I've been going on a few diet programs. I lose the weight and I gain it back, so it's been a bit of a hard journey for me.
Okay, expand on that. When you say you've been on diet programs, what have these programs been?
I've tried, doing 75 hard. It's not a diet program, but it's kind of a lifestyle thing. Just
Right.
doing that for 2 months. Ended up losing quite a bit of weight, and but then ended up gaining it back.
Mm,
I also tried keto. I tried carnivore. That's kind of
mm.
the three main diet slash lifestyle plans that I've done so far.
Okay. What about those plans didn't work for you? Because you said that you tried them, you lost a little bit of weight, but then you put it back up. So I'm curious to see what was happening there for you.
Mm, this thing I couldn't be sustainable with them. Like I get cravings and I just kind of relapse back into it.
Right. When you say cravings, what cravings?
Just food cravings in general. Like if I'm avoiding certain type of food, cravings come up, and just end up eating. I like just end up binge eating and
Mm,
resets the counter. Sort of this vicious cycle.
right. What type of foods do you crave?
Junk foods in general,
Mm,
burgers, fries, Subway hot dogs, that kind of stuff.
okay. And these programs that you're on, were those programs teaching you how to just completely flip how you're living? So just eat completely clean, no junk food, no this, no that. What are they looking like for you?
Uh, I guess it's more of a me thing. I like going cold turkey, and I guess that's kind of one of my weaknesses.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe in cheat days, but at the same time, like when I binge, it kind of resets my counter. So, yeah, I think I should
Okay.
definitely be implementing cheat days.
Interesting. So when you say you like going cold turkey, you go from what you've said, you go cold turkey, and then you have those cravings, and then when you binge eat, you fall off the boat completely, and then you go down back into this downward spiral.
Correct.
Okay. When you go on this downward spiral, what exactly is going through your mind? Yeah.
I mean, having even a bit of a loss in progress, it feels awful to me. Like I take it really personally because I shouldn't be. I've been kind of controlling my cravings lately, so it hasn't been happening a lot. But still, when they happen, like, it's very difficult for me to
Hmm.
get back on track quickly before I overeat.
Interesting. Okay, I'll be transparent with you, Mom. With this pattern of behavior where you go cold turkey, and then with one relapse you fall into this downward spiral, do you feel if you even if you had the best framework around you, if you're operating from this framework of one mistake means I throw everything away, do you feel like you'd ever get to that 75 kg?
I don't think so. That's why I'm kind of working on myself.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I'll get there if that's the case.
Well, when you say if that is the case, well, from what you told me in the last 2 years that has been the case.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I'm trying to understand what you're saying. When you say you think so, is there a case of there's a bit of uncertainty there where you think, okay, maybe I actually could lose the weight with this pattern, or do you know that you're not going to get to that 75 kg based off how you've been operating for the last 2 years?
I would say I would definitely be. It would be difficult to, not impossible to get a 75, the same pattern that I'm be operating.
Would you say it'd be bit difficult, or would you say it would be impossible based off how you've been operating for the last 2 years, your results?
I'd say impossible.
It does sound like there's a bit of uncertainty when you said impossible. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. Is there a part of you that feels like you could get to that 75 kg operating from this pattern of you go cold turkey and then you get cravings and then fall off the wagon? I want to see where you're at.
No, I'm pretty sure that being on the cycle, I've seen enough, and I know like it's not gonna happen. That's why I'm
Mm,
looking for something different that could help me with this pattern that I'm seeing.
okay. Well, let's look back at the last 2 years. So you've been operating from this pattern of go cold turkey, go to the extreme. You get the cravings that you've been having. You binge eat, and then you go in this downward spiral. So, what do you feel would be a better way to approach this from your side?
Obviously, have a more sustainable meal plan or something of the sort.
Right. When you say more sustainable, what do you mean by that?
I mean, obviously, I like myself a good burger, so
Hmm.
maybe a burger a week or something
Hmm.
similar with steak.
Yeah.
Maybe a healthy burger, something of the sort. I've been looking at that, but it's really like I don't see any way that I can eat McDonald's and be healthy. So yeah.
Well, everything is in moderation. So, if you're binge eating, then obviously that's going to be unhealthy. If you're having it once a week, that would be sustainable. Wouldn't you agree?
Hmm. Yeah.
And in terms of losing weight, the truth is exercise does play a huge part of it, but the majority is actually down to what you eat. You can lose weight simply by controlling what you eat. That's the truth of it. So if we look at the last 2 years, if in the last 2 years you're operating from a place of I have a sustainable plan that's tailored for me, so it works around my cravings, and also I have this plan where if I do fall off and I do have a binge eat, I have this process where I can get back into the process and keep on going. Where would you where would you be after those 2 years here today?
If I was doing the same thing,
No, if you were operating from a place of sustainable diets and
hmm.
accountability to get you back on track.
Um, I definitely think I'd be in a better place than I'm now.
What do you mean by better place? How is that different from where you are now?
Obviously, I don't have a big ass stomach. I can hopefully get around faster. Just be in an overall better place, in terms of health, if I can consistent because it does work. The diets do work. I think all diets work. I think it's just avoiding that cycle and just having something that's sustainable. But yeah, I definitely would be in a better place.
Hmm. The diets, all of them, well, they do work, but again, they have to be tailored to the person. It has to be
Hmm.
tailored to you, and you have to have a process around you that works with you. So if you've said you've got this pattern where you fall off, it would make sense to have a process that helps you get back on track. So you said you'd have more energy, you'd feel in better shape. How would you be feeling when you're in that better shape?
But I'd have, like I said, more energy. I'd feel
Hmm.
more active. Maybe
Right.
I'd do things like go running. Um, yeah, but other than that, I don't. I mean, obviously, I'd be healthier.
Yeah.
Not the most healthy. I can't easily climb flights of stairs. I
Right.
mean, it's not a huge thing, but yeah, I would. I'm 30 years old, so I would like to be able to be quite fit, which I'm not at the moment. So yeah, it's just being more fit, having more energy, and actually,
Hmm.
just feeling good in general.
Interesting. When you say it's not a big deal to not climb up a flight of stairs, is not being able to climb a flight of stairs not a big deal to you?
I mean, in terms of like, I can climb. It's just that I'm a bit tired. That's it. But obviously, I'd like to get much fitter because I'd rather avoid being out of breath when I climb like 4 flights of stairs. I could do it easy previously. It's just being seeing where I was at and seeing where I'm now. It's just it sucks. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm looking to make a change.
I understand. So having more energy, being able to be fit and be able to climb upstairs without getting tired, and being confident in yourself because you're back at 75 kg. If we look back at the last 2 years, would you say it's fair to say that this is what you're missing out on right now because you're not operating from a place of sustainable process, accountability process around me?
Yeah, that would be fair to say.
Okay. And saying that out loud, knowing that there's a version of you that you're missing out on, how does that actually make you feel?
I mean, it doesn't feel good, but yeah, it doesn't
Mm,
feel good.
yeah, 100%. Well, if we look forward the next 3 years, you're still operating with this system that you have the last 2 years. So you're going cold turkey for a short period of time. You lose a little bit of weight. You then get cravings. You binge eat. You put all the weight back on. And then you go into this downward spiral where mentally you feel terrible, physically you feel terrible. What do the next 3 years look like if you keep doing that?
Most probably be stuck at 90, and worse if I gain more weight. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be just stuck at 90, stuck in my same situation I am, which I'd like to avoid.
Okay. And if we're being transparent, if you're still stuck at 90 or if you are putting on weight and you're still dealing with the same problems of downward spirals, how would that actually make you feel to know that you'd be doing that for the next 3 years?
It would just make me feel bad, you know, terrible that I can't get to where I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, if we flip that, so in the next 3 years, let's say here today, we find a way for you to move forward, take action, and move forward with a sustainable plan for you that works for your needs, and also a plan that holds you accountable. So if you do fall off the wagon, and you will, everybody does. Everybody does. It's not. It's part of the. It's human. It's part of the process. When you fall off the wagon, you have a process around you to gets you back on track. Where would you be in that 3 years time if you had that around you?
I have a strong feeling that I'll be back at 75 kg if I, kept going because that's the main thing that's kind of, I guess you could say, it's a mental block that I have. I think I probably need outside help. Pretty sure I need outside help. So yeah, definitely would be at 75 kg, feel better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, right now, Hamam, you have got two clear paths. So you can keep on going as you have been doing the last 2 years. So operating from a place of go cold turkey extreme, cravings, relapse, downward spiral for the next 3 years. You'll be 90 kg, if not, you'll be heavier and feeling worse. And then you also have this other path where you operate from a place of sustainable plan for me, it's tailored for me, accountability plan. So when I fall off, not if, when I have a plan that gets me back on track and it gets me back making progress. Looking at these two paths, which one do you want to choose right here, right now on this call?
Obviously, the path forward, where the sustainable meal plan is tailored for me. Yeah.
Okay, and why do you want to choose this one? Because you have been operating from this path for the last 2 years. So why choose this one?
I mean, I've been trying to choose the path you mentioned, but it's just this mental block. So I'm looking to choose the proper path forward and get help, which I'm doing here.
Mm. When you say you've had a mental block from choosing this path, what do you mean by that?
Mental block, as in, mm, it's just the cycle. I think I don't feel accomplished when if I don't go cold turkey. And I feel really good when I go cold
Mm.
turkey, but then the
Okay,
cravings hit and then you just go boom downwards.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And operating from this place of you don't feel accomplished if you're going cold turkey. Has that been working for the last 2 years?
Oh hell no! That's that's why I'm here. Looking for a
Yeah,
solution.
right. So again, and if you're still operating from this place of I want to go cold turkey to feel accomplished, but I know it's not going to work long term, where will you be in 3 years' time if you're still using that mind frame?
obviously moving forward, I'd be not making any progress. Yeah, I'd like to avoid that.
Right. So, are you willing to move past this mental block of, wanting to feel accomplished by going cold turkey and instead adopt a sustainable plan?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And why? Why exactly? Because you did say you've been struggling with this mental block, and during this process, there will be times where you are struggling. That's normal. So I'm curious, when those times are getting difficult, why are you willing to stay this new path of being sustainable and holding yourself accountable with this new framework?
And obviously, I don't want to, keep falling into the same pattern over and over again. I think now that I have, I guess, a bit of external accountability, I'll be able to stick with it and
Hmm.
to go through with it. And yeah, it's time to make a change.
100%. And I guess I am curious, why now? Why now exactly? Has anything changed in your day-to-day life that's made you realize, oh, I really need to make a change?
I've been trying to make a change for the past, like I said, 2 years, but I guess
Hmm.
I was like, maybe it's time to get some external help. Like I've wasted 2 years. I don't want to waste any more time. That's why I'm like potentially looking at
Yeah.
the programs that may help.
Okay. Well, what made you feel that you don't want to waste any more time? What made you book this call to get external help?
I mean, I've seen a couple of programs like this, but there were some results, on your site. I was like, if they can do it, why can't I? Yeah, I've always been looking to do it. I think it's just this huge mental block that I have put on myself that I possibly need outside help, probably need outside help with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. What I'm asking is what made you actually take that first step to get outside help? Was there a realization or a moment? What was that for you? What actually took you to the first step?
Uh, I don't think there was, just one moment of realization. It was just, I was thinking about it. I was kind of journaling. I journal. I was like, it's
Hmm.
been 2 years. If it has happened, it should have happened. So, you know, that was no light bulb moment. It was just okay. 2 years I've been trying. I've been going through the cycle up and down.
Hmm.
That was really the main reason.
Okay. And you realized that if you kept on doing what you've been doing the last 2 years, it would look the same in the future. Am I
Yeah,
understanding this?
yeah.
Fantastic. And then I'd go into
Yeah.
yeah, and then you can fill in the rest.
Okay.
Okay, welcome in, Azilica. I believe you've been speaking to Jason in the DMs. Hopefully, he didn't bore you too much.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
He should have sent you over some videos and resources to go through before this call. Did you manage to go through those?
Yeah, I watched a bit, but I got distracted by this.
You cut out there. You said something about watching a bit.
Yeah, I watched a bit, but I couldn't complete it. So I just decided to book the call because he was telling me if I'm done, have I booked it? So I was just like, yeah. But I'm not done.
Okay, how much did you get to watch?
About 30 seconds.
Okay, so you didn't get to watch a lot. Basically, none of it. Okay. Well, those videos were important to this call, and the owner put a lot of time to set them up so that you come in prepared. So, is there any reason why you didn't watch those?
So as I said, I got distracted, but we can go on. We can go on with it.
I mean, we can do anything, but I'm interested in as to why you wouldn't watch the videos. Because to us here at the company here, it's a signal that you're willing to put in time to watch very basic videos. So if you're not willing to do that, then it just raises questions on our side.
Yeah, so I could go back and watch it, but I think I kind of grabbed the idea that of what the video was talking about. It was about a sales sales training. So yeah, it's something I'm already interested in.
Okay. And how serious are you taking this? Because if you don't watch your videos, then it does raise flags. How serious are you taking the sales?
I wouldn't be on this call if I wasn't taking it seriously.
Okay, well, okay, that's good. That's good to hear. Well, what are you looking for specifically to achieve with remote sales?
Well, where I'm from when I went through when I was speaking with him, he mentioned stuff like people can make up to $10,000 a month, and I felt like wow, that's cool. And he also said it's something that I don't have to go to an office or I can do remotely. So I feel like okay, that's something I can do. So that's why I decided okay, let me just book the call.
Okay, so how much are you looking to make specifically with remote sales?
If I could get up to 3K per month, I'm cool.
Okay, 3K per month. How much are you making right now?
Not much, probably around 1K per month.
Okay. What are you doing right now? Is that a 9 to 5?
I'm a media buyer actually.
You're a
Media buyer. I work for a media buying. Yeah,
okay. And how many hours a week do you work as a media buyer to make one a month?
it's a 9 to 5, and every every week except on Saturdays. That's weekends.
So how many hours a week would you say that is?
That's a lot of hours. I've not really calculated it, how many hours.
Okay, we can work it out. So you're working 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah. And then are you working Saturday, Sunday?
No.
Okay, so you're working 40 hours a week to make 1K a month.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, right. And why exactly do you want to leave your 9 to 5 as a media buyer and go into remote sales?
Well, I said I'm just making 1K now, and when I spoke to him, he said that I could make around 10K per month. So I was like, okay, if I could just level up maybe just 3K per month, doing it remotely, I won't have to go to work. I'm cool. I can stay at my house and just do my job.
Okay, I mean, why exactly do you want to just work from home rather than go and work as a media buyer?
Transportation, like from where I work, it's pretty far, but yeah, and also it's because of the money.
The money. Okay, so making that 3K a month, I mean, why is that so important to you that you leave a 1K a month job?
Well, it's higher. It's higher than it's higher than
Well,
one.
it is higher, but there's also, I mean, there'll be other media buyers that are happy making 1K a month. So why exactly do you want to leave and go into remote sales to earn more?
Well, I'm someone who's ambitious. From 3K a month, I feel like if I could start from there, I can get up to the level where I could earning up to 10K a month. But I've also seen a lot of guys on Twitter make amounts like that. So it's something I've been thinking about for a while now. So I decided, okay, cool. Let me just give it a try and see
Yeah.
what's.
So when you say 3K a month, is that your first milestone, or do you actually want to aim higher if you're being ideal?
Yeah, that's my first milestone. I just want to start with that first. Then with time, as I get more XP, then I can, try some scale it up.
Okay, so let's actually look forward. Where do you actually want to be? So the first 3K a month is just it's a milestone, but where do you actually see yourself making? Because you were talking about 10K a month earlier.
Yeah, I see myself as a sales manager in probably maybe a SaaS or tech startup.
Yeah, in terms of the income, you said you were starting at 3K.
Yeah.
But
That's-
where in terms of ideal income, where do you see that actually?
Let me say, 100K per year won't be bad, seriously.
100K, yes, around 9K a month.
Yeah, exactly.
9K a month, okay. Okay. And how long have you wanted that 9K a month for?
Well, since I went into since I finished my university, I've been trying to like find a road or a job that could pay me well. So I can live where I'm currently at. I want to move to somewhere else, and that's why I decided, okay, I can scale up.
Your microphone's cutting up the sound, yeah.
How am I now? Is it okay?
It's okay now, but now the camera's it's back. Go back.
Yes.
Go. So you said you since about uni when you left uni.
Sorry?
So you said you've been wanting to make that 9K a month since you left uni.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how many years would you say that has been?
That's 2 years ago.
2 years. Okay, 2 years. So in terms of actually getting to that 9K a month over the last 2 years, what have you been doing to get to there?
So first, I started my training on how to become a media buyer. That lasted for 6 months. Then looking for a role or a job took me about 2 months before I was able to land one job, and that's where I've been working for the past should I say 1.5 year.
Okay, and this is the job that's earning 1K a month.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in terms of getting to that 9K a month, what have you been doing to get to there?
Well, not really. That's why I'm here actually. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm on this call.
Hmm. So have you done nothing else in order to get to that 9K a month?
Nah. I would I say I've tried maybe I've tried crypto, and I just don't like things that I have to speculate. I like things that are like um that have a process, right? Or a system. And crypto was just shit. I have to predict, I have to speculate, and I don't like that.
Okay. Other than the crypto, because crypto is more like gambling as opposed to making money. What have you done in the last 2 years to actually get yourself to the 9K?
Nothing else.
Okay. The reason I point this out is earlier you said that you're ambitious, but you have just told me that you've not done anything for the last 2 years to get to 9K. So there's a conflict in what you said here.
Yeah, in a way, but why I say that is because, well, whenever I'm doing something, I like to go in and put in my best. Like when I started at this media buying agency, I started as a junior media buyer, and I was earning about 500 then. It was later on I put in my best, learned more about media buying, and I was able to get more skills on media buying. So like web page development and all those kind of things. Yeah, so that's how I was able to like improve my skills and start earning up to 1K. But the work that I'm doing there to earn 1K is a lot. It's a lot. But as I said, I'm very ambitious. So when I start something, I want to make sure that I get to the top. Like I want to make sure that I actually um make it.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Would you say I mean, which one would you say is more important? Saying that you're an ambitious person or actually doing the things that an ambitious person does?
Yeah, doing it.
So what would an ambitious person who wants to make 9K a month over the last 2 years, what would they have done?
What would they for?
An ambitious person over the last 2 years, if their goal was to make 9K a month, what would they have done?
Well, probably the same thing I did because they would want to become like if you go through Twitter, you can see a lot of people who are also media buyers make a lot of money. and over 1K. Like maybe some of them own their own agency and all this kind of thing. But the process is actually long because when you have to grow a following, you have to, you know, go through all that to get your own agency. So that's why I decided, you know what, maybe I should go with sales because with sales, if I start, then I can go faster than with media buying.
Okay, so you were originally just looking at media buying and becoming your own
Exactly,
sales
exactly.
consultant. So when did you make the decision that okay, I'm not going to be a media buyer, I'm going to go into sales because
I
I need to
haven't,
make money faster?
and I haven't made the decision yet. That's why I'm on this call because I want to see if sales is even something that I should go into. I should put 100% of my efforts into. I'm still doing the media buying it. I'm still working as a media buyer, but that's why when I spoke to him, I was like, okay, let me see if sales is actually something. I've seen people making money from sales on Twitter, and I was like, okay. When he reached out to me, I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a try.
Okay, so it seems like it seems like you're a little conflicted here, like you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to sales and media buying. Would that be correct?
Well, I'm still in media buying 100%, but I want to understand how sales actually work. If it's something that can work for me, if what you guys are going to provide for me is something that is actually going to be worth my time.
Absolutely, I understand. Well, how I usually do this course is I first work out where you are, where you want to be, where you want to go, and then I
Yeah,
see if you're a good fit for us, we're a good fit for you, and we can actually work together. If we are, we can get you onboarded here today, and if we're not a good fit, then there's no problem. At least you can leave here with some value, and then if you are a good fit, we walk you through exactly how we get you to where you want to be, and that also includes the price. But first actually need to make sure we can help you. Does that make sense?
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So when you said you're actually still looking at media buying, just testing the waters of sales. You said you have seen people in sales make 10K a month.
Yeah,
Okay, so you know that it is absolutely doable in sales.
yeah, I do.
And I presume before you booked this call, you took a look at our profile picture. Not took a look at our profile. You saw our clients. You've seen our results. So you've seen that we do get the results that we're
Yeah,
looking for. Okay, so in terms of being convinced that sales itself can get you to 10K a month, is there any uncertainty there on your side?
well, first, how do I get a sales job? Like, how do I land the role? That's where I'm even more okay. Let me even see it first before I leave what I'm currently doing, and then so I'm not really sure how do I land the role because I see a lot of people complain about how hard it is to get a sales role, and the because the I was even telling him that the industry is so jam packed that with a lot of people, the competition is very high here compared to media buying. So I was like, how do I even get a role? And then he was like, when I jump on the call, these are the things we're gonna discuss about. So yeah, so that I'm not really 100% sure yet how doable it is, but I believe that people who are actually in a role are actually doing up to that or more than that.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. So, are you planning to actually go into sales and leave in media buying at the same time, as opposed to be a media buyer whilst also learning sales on the side?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna do because I can't just leave my job yet till I have something that's paying me.
Right, I see. I see where you're coming from. Well, okay. Well, sales it's not a free meal ticket. There's a reason why people get paid 3K, 10K, 20K a month. It's because it's very, very competitive. It is, and there needs to be a lot of work put in. So, and it is. I'll be honest with you. I've seen people do it where they're doing their full-time job and then they learn sales part-time and they eventually transition over. However, I mean, this is, I mean, it's down to you. There is no guarantee that, listen, you join us and you're going to make money. And anyone who tries to sell you 100% guarantee is trying to steal your money. Because I mean, let's think about it like this: even if you had the full experience, the full framework, and the best experts around you, but you were still half in, half out, not sure if sales is going to work, and looking at media buying, do you feel like you would ever get to that 10K a month?
No, that's not. I'm not sure if that's gonna be possible. Unless I'm very lucky. Unless I'm gonna be very.
There's nothing lucky about making the 10K a month.
Well, I know people who they just like went through maybe media buying training and they've landed jobs that pay them up to 5K a month or 3K a month. You understand? They just got started. But I don't know. Though he said the competition in sales is high, but yeah, I just want to see how it goes.
Okay. At this point in the call, I'll just simply say I don't think we can help you based off of what you're looking for and what you're looking for in sales. In my opinion, the prospect. I mean, I can try and align the prospects, but it doesn't sound like they're in it. They're in it completely. There's nothing holding them back. They just haven't made a decision. So I actually I wouldn't pitch the prospect here, and I wouldn't even go into their current state or their emotions here, because from my point of view, it doesn't feel like they would be a good fit for the program.
Okay.
Which is fine. There'll always be prospects like that. It's fine. I shouldn't be selling to every single prospect.
Exactly.
There'll be prospects that won't be sold to.
Yeah, that's true.
That's calm. Well, Izilika, I've sent the school community over. That's
Okay.
good. This call ends in 15. Oh, that's good. Mate, it's been good training with you. It's been very very new experience. I've never role played with a prospect where I've been like, okay, I don't think I should sell. So that's actually good because it's been a good experience.
Okay.
So have you got the recording on your side? Fathom recording.
The call you're recording? No, I've
Yeah,
not.
have you recording? Okay, cool. I'll send this recording over to you because it's useful to watch it back and see where you can improve.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Fantastic, brother. And also I'll upload this on YouTube.
Yeah,
This goes on
I
YouTube as well.
I wanted to even ask you about that. Do you like
Of course.
share your like role plays and all that on maybe TikTok and all that?
Nothing on TikTok. Interesting that you say that because TikTok I've not actually thought about. TikTok would be a good avenue to build
Yeah,
your presence. Right now I am just focusing on YouTube just to build my personal
yeah, YouTube.
well, not just build my personal brand. So when employers see who I am, they can go straight to my YouTube and look at all these role plays.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Right.
Fantastic.
Would you be like, what time would you, or when would you like to have this call again?
I'd have to check. I'd have to check rates.
Okay, because, anyway, just check. Then let's see.
Yeah.
Just reach out to me.
Fantastic. Well, it's been good role play with you, mates. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
All right, man.
Yeah, take care.